On today's edition of the Bluffton News, we'll get updates on the May River, Bluffton ATAX, and Highway 278 construction. Thank you for joining us for the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. Let's kick things off with Bluffton's current headlines. The Inn at Palmetto Bluff is considering adding 150 guest rooms and upgrading its spa and fitness center in response to increasing demand. The Inn has won numerous accolades since its 2004 opening, and according to General Manager Jarrett Albert, expansion seems to be a reasonable next step. Currently, the Inn, which is located in the Palmetto Bluff community in Bluffton, boasts 50 cottage-style suites, a Jack Nicklaus signature golf course, and a host of amenities. The AAA 5 diamond-rated rooms start at $625 a night. The hotel has plans for 64 new guest rooms and 5 cottages spread across the property, and another 86 rooms are planned for a single building. The spa and fitness center are not yet defined. The project is expected to come before Bluffton's planning committee next week, and officials say the review process could take up to a year. And Cassandra Morrow Ramos, 20, of Beaufort, has been charged with attempted murder after shooting at a man from her car and then fleeing police. This past Saturday, Ramos went to the Walmart on Robert Smalls Parkway to meet with the victim, and after a disagreement ensued, Ramos allegedly shot at the man out of the window of her car. She then drove off, evading police, until she was finally stopped by Port Royal officers near the Beaufort Naval Hospital. Along with the attempted murder charge, Ramos also faces 3 weapons charges: unlawful carrying of a firearm, possession of a concealed weapon, and failure to stop for blue lights. May River Theater operator Ed Dupuy announced the end of an era after the Beaufort County Council recognized he and his wife Jody for their work launching and running the community theater 11 years ago. Council Chairman Weston Newton read the resolution thanking Ed, the manager, and Jody, the director and choreographer, for presenting more than 48 productions seen by 50,000 community members and visitors since the theater's inception. Dupuy then announced that he would be handing over primary responsibility in the next several months, with plans for staying involved in some capacity. May River Theater opened its doors in the renovated Ulmer Theater in 2001 and will complete its 11th season next year with a production of Annie. The Old Town Bluffton welcome sign near Stock Farm greeting motorists in the approach from South Carolina 46 will soon receive a makeover. A newly formed beautification committee is putting its $18,000 in private donations and accommodations tax money to use, with $8,600 in landscaping upgrades, with the goal of finishing work in the area before the end of the year. Plans call for silver saw palmetto, itias, a southern magnolia, forestry pansy redbud, and dogwood to accentuate the area's sign and live oaks, along with a bed of pine, straw, or oysters beneath the sign, irrigation, fertilizer, and other site work. After finishing this project, the committee plans for sign area improvements on Bluffton Road from US 278 and on Burnt Church Road. From there, the focus is on developing a conceptual design at the intersections of SC 46 at SC 170 and SC 170 at US 278. Karen Morris, an employee of Beaufort County EMS since 1987, has been chosen by the Beaufort Exchange Club as 2012's Medical Person of the Year. This is the first time the Exchange has given the award to an EMS employee. Morris started with Beaufort County EMS as a volunteer, but soon became full-time and today is a shift crew chief. Deanne Sanders, who wrote a letter nominating Morris, cited her outstanding patient care, saying if she has a patient that she knows is truly needy, she will go the extra mile, even if that means helping the patient off duty. Other honored guests included 1 Beaufort firefighter and 3 Port Royal police officers. After 13 years of service to the people of Beaufort County, Chairman Weston Newton submitted his resignation during a special county council meeting last Friday. As of December 3, 2012, Vice Chairman Paul Somerville will assume the duties of chairman until an election can be held in January to elect a new chairman and new vice chairman. Mr. Newton has been the chairman of County Council for 10 years and will now head to Columbia, filling the newly formed South Carolina House of Representatives District 120 seat. He won this seat in the November 6th election. And here's what's happening around the state. Authorities have found the wreckage of a small plane that crashed in a marsh outside Savannah and are working to determine the cause of the incident. The single-engine 1968 Cessna 172 plane had been flying to Savannah Hilton Head International Airport from North Carolina this past Sunday when it went missing. Officials lost contact with the aircraft at 6:55 p.m. and one person was believed to be aboard. Savannah Chatham Metro Police, U.S. Coast Guard, and state officials were involved in the search. The wreckage was found around 1 a.m. The National Transportation Safety Board will be investigating. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. When we come back, we have the Bluffton Business Report, courtesy of Shellie West-Hodges, and Mayor Lisa Sulka brings us a May River update.
The smoked chipotle burrito is really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success?
Yeah.
Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please, I'll do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, wah. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Joining me now is Shellie West-Hodges with our Bluffton Business Report. And you know, with this being Thanksgiving week and all, it seems we tend to have, well, food on our mind. And Shellie has brought us an appropriate business report. Let's start off, Shellie, with talking about Giuseppe's.
Well, Giuseppe's is in Bluffton. There's also Giuseppe's on Hilton Head, and that is with the Surd Group. And they just had their 10th year anniversary that they celebrated here in Bluffton last week. And we had a great turnout, and we also celebrated a ribbon cutting to bring in the new restaurant and showcase their new logo and the whole new property there. They have a game room for kids and a nice outdoor area as well.
Well, I love their pizza. I'm so delighted to hear how well they're doing, and that ribbon cutting, I'm sure, was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Now, moving on to kind of a different category of food, I understand that the Buckwalter McDonald's has been making the news.
Yes, and you know what? I wish I had thought of putting a McDonald's at Buckwalter because they are going to do an excellent business. People in Buckwalter area are very excited to have McDonald's there, and that is actually from a local couple, Michael and Laura Eggers. They are actually from Beaufort, and this is their 4th McDonald's. And that just opened up, and they also had Ronald McDonald there last week.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, I understand that aside from them opening this new restaurant, they've done some good work for the community.
Yes, during their ribbon cutting and their grand opening, they actually presented Bluffton High School with $1,000 as well as Bluffton Elementary to the assistant principal and principals there, and had a great opportunity for people to come by and register to win free TVs through the 29th.
That's terrific. Now, moving beyond this week, of course, with the holidays bearing down on us, we're all trying to plan our calendars. Tell us a bit about some of the upcoming events.
There's more businesses opening up. There's more grand openings coming and ribbon cuttings. We have a little shop in Bluffton, downtown Bluffton, called Southern Butterfly that is reclaimed furniture and some housewares. We also have Sunset Bay that just opened up over in Buckingham, which was the old sea trawler. And we also have Jester Communications, which is affiliated with the Don Ryan Center, is also going to be celebrating with a big grand opening and party this coming month. So business is good, businesses are opening, and it's a great sign for times coming.
That's very exciting for Bluffton. I will say I had dinner at Sunset Bay last week. Give it a big thumbs up. You definitely want to check it out. Thank you so much for joining us, Shellie.
Thank you.
Joining us now is Bluffton Mayor Lisa Sulka to bring us a little bit of an update on the May River. Lisa, what is going on with the May River?
Well, Anneliza, thanks for having me again. As of November 2011, we adopted the May River Watershed Action Plan. And that went through months and months of a lot of people and community support. But we've made some inroads in that. We've currently contracted for a 6-acre stormwater pond located at the headwaters of the May. And that should treat and intercept approximately 300 acres of the watershed area in that part of the May River. It's going to give us a great insight into some potential impacts into that river after the construction of that pond.
Now, has DHEC made any adjustments to the restrictions they have on harvesting oysters in stations 1919 and 1924?
Oh yes, we had some great news come down from DHEC about a month ago that said that they were going to open up that station again for harvesting. And what that does is open almost 22 acres of oyster beds in that part of the river. Just another little glimpse into what we're doing, that we're doing the right things with this watershed action plan.
That's great. Now, are you getting any help from private citizens and businesses in terms of the May River development?
We are. Our boards and commissions are of great help. The community has shown great support of our action plan. Just recently, Palmetto Bluff announced that they would do a joint venture with the town of Bluffton by donating the 6-acre area where that stormwater pond that I spoke about earlier was going to be built. And also, we're going through first reading and soon second reading of council, where they are not only donating that 6 acres of land, but they're also pulling at least 1,300 residential units off the critical areas of the May River. And that is something that will protect a future around 150 acres of future development. So great community support and really good support from one of our neighboring developers.
That's exciting. It sounds like we've got a lot of positive news about the May River.
We do. We have a long way to go, but we're taking short steps to get there.
All right. Well, we'll keep plugging along. Thank you so much for joining us, Mayor.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll hear all about Bluffton ATAX and where things stand with Highway 278 construction.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Today on the Bluffton News, I'm pleased to welcome Shirley Freeman. Now, Shirley, we're going to talk a little bit about ATAX, which is basically the abbreviation for Accommodations Tax. To start off with, why don't you give our viewers an idea of how last year's accommodation tax compared to the prior year, and do you think that things are starting to trend up?
They definitely are trending up. The prior year was $332,000 that we were able to distribute. And then we also, the year before that, we received $280,000. This year, it's 16% above that first quarter, which ended in September. So if that trend keeps going, we'll have about $380,000 to distribute.
Okay, well, that's great. And what kind of expenditures are the monies restricted to?
Tourism, anything that provides for or attracts the tourist. And that was the hope of the accommodations tax, to attract tourists. Here in Bluffton, we combined both the 2% state accommodation and the 3% local accommodation, to give us some funds to distribute for tourism in Bluffton.
How much was distributed last year?
A total of $340,000, a little bit more than we collected, because we have had funds left over from the prior year. The funds always stay in the account.
It's interesting. The accommodation tax seems to be in the Bluffton news a lot. In fact, earlier in the headlines, we were talking about how some of that went to the beautification of the Bluffton sign on Highway 46, and that the beautification committee is using some of those monies to help make Bluffton more attractive to tourists. If you have a project, how do you find out if it can receive accommodation tax, and how do you apply?
Online, you can go to our new website, And on the signpost, you'll see I want to, or you'll look under, you can hit the business section and it will take you to accommodations tax application. Forms, permits and forms will also take you to the applications for accommodations tax, and it is, the form just details what it can be used for. Now you'll have to be a 501c organization.
Oh, okay. So, and help explain to our viewers what exactly is a 501c?
It's a not-for-profit.
Okay. Now, give us an example of some of the other not-for-profits that are receiving ATAX benefits right now.
Sure. Our Welcome Center, the Hayward House, is supported by accommodations tax. You've got the historic Seafood Festival that received funds. We have the May River Theater, our culture. We have the Farmers Market received some funds. Anything that will draw tourists in, special events, those type of events is what our council would like to support.
Well, it sounds like the money is definitely going to good use. Shirley, it was great having you with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am now pleased to welcome Jared Fralix, who is the Assistant Resident Construction Engineer for SCDOT. Now, Jared, we see a lot going on out on 278, all kinds of barrels and lane closings, and I know it does have to do with a widening of 278. Can you tell us a little bit about the project?
Yes, ma'am. It's approximately 5 miles of widening. We'll be going from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, and it goes from approximately Simmonsville Road back towards SC 170.
Okay. Now, is there a schedule for the project, an idea of completion?
Yeah, the original completion date is the end of next year, and right now we're on course to make that, pursuing any weather delays or any major hiccups. But yeah, the end of next year.
How do you think that the cold weather right now is going to impact that progress?
It's not so bad right now. We have some work that the contractor can do during the winter that they're approved to do. So they will still be making progress on both the road portion and the bridge portion. So the weather, even though it's not ideal, it shouldn't increment the project too much.
Okay. Now, what can a driver plan on experiencing in the coming months?
Yeah, well, I guess over the last couple of weeks, you've been seeing that we've been getting the widening in place for the 3 lanes. In the next couple of months, it's going to appear that it's already done. It should just come over right now, but there's actually about 6 inches of asphalt to place on top of that. So it's going to be a series of 2-inch lifts. So 3 times they got to go across the whole end of the project. So even though it's going to look like there's room for 3 lanes, it's still going to be 2 lanes till the end of the project. And the bridge, they just brought a big yellow crane on 4 wheels. That's to help lay the bridge deck. The tall crane that's existing out there, that's going to continue driving the piles for the support, and then they'll have the roller crane there to lay the bridge deck right behind it.
All right. Now, with the holidays coming up, I know everybody's concerned about travel time and traffic. Do you foresee this project causing any congestion?
No, ma'am. We restrict the contractor. They can only do any lane closures at nighttime. And even further so for the holiday season, we've restricted them from Tuesday night, the end of Tuesday night work schedule, which is this Tuesday coming, until the Monday morning after. They're not allowed to be in the road, so it should flow just fine. Well,
it sounds that you have planned it very well. Do you expect this to ease a lot of the traffic flow, particularly in the summer months?
Yeah, that's what the intent is for capacity issues, so to help traffic on and off of Hilton Head and even during evacuation times, and also to promote growth and keep up with the growth that the town of Bluffton's experienced already.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's in place, because especially during evacuation time, I think it gives everybody nightmares, those 2 lanes. Jared, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure, no problem. Thanks a lot.
When we return, everybody's favorite entertainment reporter, Rodney Vaughn, serves up some terrific ideas for our free time fun.
Okay, so it's a romantic dinner for two. Now, I've already cut some tomato. Time for the vinaigrette. You are gonna love this. Okay, we need some sesame seeds. My favorite pan. Now, what's really important is...
With Merilad cabinets, you'll discover function that's irresistible.
Good thing I'm not the jealous type.
Welcome back. Just as we look forward to Friday, so do we now also look forward to Rodney Vaughn's entertainment report. Rodney, you know, with the holidays coming along, we all have goodwill in our hearts. Are there some charitable events coming up that you want to tell us about?
There sure are. There are a lot of charities in the Lowcountry. We're very blessed to have those in the area. One in particular is the Hilton Head annual charity celebration of trees. Now, this is held at the Westin on Hilton Head Island, and local businesses donate trees and then decorate them all in different themes. The lobby of the hotel is decked out where you can see all the trees. Now, the idea behind this is that you make a bid on the tree. It's a silent auction, and the winner gets to take the tree home the week before Christmas. And it all goes to benefit the Sandalwood Food Pantry. And they're an organization that feeds over 150 families in Hilton Head and the local Lowcountry area. The trees are going on display on Monday the 19th, and they're going to be on display through December the 17th. And it's really a great event.
It sounds like it's going to be. I've been to the Festival of Trees before, and it really is beautiful.
Yes,
ma'am.
Now,
children's charities, what's going on there?
Well, the Toys for Tots, which is sponsored by the Marines in the area, has kicked off their event again for this year. And I spoke with a representative from the Savannah region, and they're really needing some extra help with the economy, and giving is down a little bit. So they have local area boxes set up, and you can contact their website, which is toysfortots.org, to get a little bit more information about that. But that is a great event. I remember when we were in high school that we all did that as an event for kids.
Well, with Black Friday sales going on and with a lot of the pre-holiday sales going on, it's a great time to pick up some toys and drop them off. Rodney, do they have any restrictions on what should be dropped off?
Well, the toys need to be new. They used to take used toys and repair them, but they don't have time to do that any longer. So new toys would be the best to pick up for kids and drop off at one of the local boxes. And since Toys for Tots inception, they've given away over 452 million toys to children.
And if I remember correctly, do not wrap the present.
That is exactly right.
Okay. How do we find out more information, Rodney?
Toysfortots.org is their website, and they also have a phone number where you can talk directly to someone at the Savannah Regional Office.
Terrific. That's great, Rodney. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, and everyone have a blessed Thanksgiving.
Allow me to introduce you to the Bluffton News Pet of the Week, Bumble. This bundle of energy is less than a year old and as irresistible as his picture suggests. He loves people and plays well with his fellow canines. While not quite sure of his ancestry, it is certain that he will make a wonderful lifelong companion. For more information on Bumble and other adoptable pets, contact Brookshaven Animal Rescue at 843-757-7387. Thanks for watching the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor. We'll see you next time.